what I found was with the clothes I was wearing, I started feeling wrong in my body. So I started wearing a binder, which is what trans men wear to make sure their chest appears flat. The day I did that, everything just turned around. I felt really like something changed. Seeing myself in a different way was very, very strong. You know, I didn't really know what was going on. And then after that came a long period of just fighting it, being angry, being furious. It was very uncomfortable really to be in that much conflict. So I sought support, professional support, spoke with friends, had therapy. And the conclusion really was the best thing is to face this, to walk towards it. That fighting it was just causing me more distress. And really the main job for me has just been about listening and responding, just trying to align myself with really the reality of my situation.
Take one and pass them round. And yeah, if you want to add on...
You know, the irony is that, you know, the first conversation about setting up the Triratna Gender Diverse Buddhists group, you know, I was doing that as an ally. I didn't know what I know now about my gender.
I think what the aim of that little breakout session would be to just really look at the absolute core of what that teaching is about, or something that really, either that or something that really leaps out.
I was having a conversation with Padma Vyuha, who is a non-binary trans female in our order, and a mitra called Sal from the LBC, and we were talking about how difficult it is for people who have diverse gender identities within Triratna to find somewhere where they can fit in. You know, people who really like what we do, you know, like how we present the Dharma, like how we teach, you know, really receptive to how we do meditation, really love the Sangha, but when they encounter single-sex groupings, they're a bit like, oh, I'm not really sure where I fit. What group shall I go to? If I go to this one, are they just going to reject me? If I go to that one, will they make assumptions about my gender that aren't actually my experience? So we got talking and decided to set up a Facebook group just to sort of see who else was out there. And it's been extraordinary, you know, I mean, in the first couple of weeks, the numbers just went right through the roof. We had no idea. And again, it was people going, oh, wow, I thought I was the only one, and now I can see I'm not. But we've got over 300 members now on that group, and we ran a retreat last year, which was really successful at Adhisthana, and we've got another one booked for this year.
Limbs are more a working example in a way. You look at it in all those different directions, keep on changing direction, applying it.
On the day in Sheffield, we looked at a couple of different texts. We did a lot of discussion, breaking it apart. And actually, you know, it's partly a chance to get together and study Dharma, but it's also about creating Sangha and building Sangha. So people getting a chance to meet each other in the flesh, because Facebook's like, it's okay for connecting, but it's nothing on being in the same room as people, on actually feeling that warmth and cultivating those friendships.
Right from school all the way through, gender didn't really make sense to me in the way that it seemed to make sense to most other people. That I don't feel like a man, but I also don't feel like a woman. That I feel like a person, and not really much beyond that. So there's complexities in a single-sex environment. I found myself often having to explain who I was, or clashing against an idea where I must be a certain way because I'm 6'1" with a beard. That secure environment, a safe environment, which is created within a single-sex environment, actually wasn't there for me. And then I discovered, well, the Gender Diverse Sangha. Went on the retreat last year, which was a real eye-opener. It was something new, completely new to me.
And I've been thinking about, you know, what's a Dharma toolkit for people who are gender diverse? You know, what do we need in that toolkit? A whole bunch of metta, a load of kshanti, really good understanding of pratitya samutpada.
The kind of causality it's talking about is very different from the idea of this makes that happen. What it's saying is that this makes that possible. So supportive conditions don't determine the arising of something, they just make it possible.
You can use that teaching to break down polarisation around this sense of difference, like, well, I'm different from you, you'd never understand, or, oh, I don't understand that person, they're really odd. You can break that sense of difference down through looking at all the conditions at play and then enter into a dialogue, create harmony and understanding, and in a way celebrate those differences.
But actually doing that, you're actually just aligning yourself with the truth, which can only ever be a good thing. You know, actually being able to say, well, it's not just that I'm aware of all of my conditions. That's great, but you've got to turn that right around to whoever it is you're having an interaction with, and be able to really see them for who they are, not just paint them as the enemy or somebody who's saying something that you don't like. You know.
So in a way, it's about cultivating harmony, you know, and that gets me really excited. What's really powerful as well with all of that is it takes the blame away, and it can take the pain away as well. A lot of people, Buddhist or not, think that surgery should be unnecessary for somebody who is Buddhist. That you're missing the point, you've taken a wrong turn on your spiritual path. That really, you know, the goal is about going beyond all of that stuff, and surely you don't need to muck about with this vessel, you know. And I can understand where those views come from. I think gender, in a way, has got nothing to do with Buddhism, you know. Like, actually, when we look at the Dharma, it's teaching us about how to, well, gain enlightenment, isn't it? But there's this whole business of the work we need to do in the human realm. We need to be in a good state, fit, healthy, well, happy, you know. And if you're experiencing a lot of distress in your body, you're not actually going to make any progress. You have to work out what's happening now. So the work with the gender diverse Buddhists is around trying to cultivate ways and formulate ways where we can communicate ourselves and be seen. I mean, that's what we do in study groups, isn't it? That's what we do in chapter, that's what we do in GFR groups, in our communities, is we find ways to communicate how we are. And for me, that's just been beautiful.
So long as all have not attained.
So long as all have not attained.
To peace.
To peace.